Well, styles change, Beaver.
Delta City for our children.
Canada is moving forward on an initiative to stop the sale of all natural health supplements in Canada. So what does that mean? That means if you're a consumer, you will not be able to get access to your natural healthcare supplements. That's vitamins, minerals, nutrients, herbs.
I see the need for action. I see the need for a great reset. I see the need for action. I see the need for a great reset.
The new age is the new man, the new creation.
That's right.
And the old man goes bye-bye.
You've got it. That's exactly one of the most important terms is the new man. And when you begin to see what that term new man actually implies.
What about democracy? Nobody elected you. What about democracy? Nobody elected you.
Make made in America mean something again.
It's showtime.
Welcome to NutriRibble Red Pill Edition, making integrative ideas great again.
The next peak of conflict, according to Kondratyev's wave, against the United States' point of view, happens in about 2024, 2025.
And this is part two from continuation from part one.
One of the first and most underrated economists out there was actually a Soviet economist, a guy named Kondratyev. Kondratyev created what's known as the Kondratyev wave, the Kondratyev cycle. That cycle essentially puts us
in future. These people will be
the
simply
pattern of
squashed like cockroaches,
or intrastate conflict, where countries compete, actually go to war with each other. And it puts it on about a 25-year cycle.
I see the need for action. I see the need for a great reset. Why not to tie government aid to the green economy which we have to create? Why not to make sure that we revolutionize, digitalize particularly our educational system?
And who give them? Who voted for these guys? You know.
How can we do things differently?
The recap: decentralization, losing freedoms like choosing which products, natural health products you want to buy. Where all this comes from. This is what this video in particular is about, and all the symbolism in between. Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. Here's some more symbolism here.
I'll answer that, young lady. City Hall is the decaying symbol of mismanagement and corruption. This magnificent structure will be the seat of leadership for the new Detroit. And what better place for a clean, fresh start?
My friends, welcome to our city as it should be. And as it will be in the hands of responsible private enterprise. You're on. You'll have to tear down a lot of people's houses before you can make that thing and take away their homes.
See, this is all Delta City is like a allegory. Like the writers, science fiction writers of this time, even before, knew all this stuff, knew all about all these guys, Klaus Schwab, and knew about all these types of ideas. And they were incorporating them into films for entertainment, but also to warn us. Delta City is an allegory or a metaphor for a new world order. And you can see what no one elected these guys.
Going to raise towers of glass and steel. Every citizen will have a living unit, safe, secure, and clean. Now, please, take your seat. Won't be much room for neighborhoods, huh? Not like the kind that we all grew up in. These days, neighborhoods just seem to be the sort of places where bad things happen. Don't be nostalgic. Ladies and gentlemen, great pleasure. I give you Robocop 2.
There's going to be a big call for this unit. And we'll make it right here in Detroit.
The new man. That's a new. There's always the robots. That's another metaphor, an allegory, to signify a new world order, the new man, like they were talking about.
We can all be proud of and make made in America mean something again.
Which one of these fruitcakes do you want to bow down to and give your money to? Do you want this group all here, or that airhead here, or this ding-a-ling over here?
The new creation.
That's right.
And the old man goes bye-bye.
You've got it. That's exactly one of the most important terms is the new man. And when you begin to see what that term new man actually implies, and why Adolf Hitler talked about all the time creating the new man, why Stalin in his writings talked about the coming of the new man. When you see the communist symbols and words and terms that were used by the Communist Party around the world, talking about the coming of the new man, when the sun would rise on a new order. Once you begin to see this, then you see how very powerful and ancient and old and well-financed this whole monstrosity on the human race really is, and then for the first time, you begin to see how serious in trouble we really are.
And without saying any names,
everywhere.
It's everywhere. Without saying names, getting into arguments with other people out there, a lot of them are misled.
Jobs are being taken. The backlash to progressive politics has been stoked by online influencers, known as the manosphere.
69% of the time, men are portrayed in the media in a negative light as buffoons, pedophiles, perverts. And what messages is sending to people across the United States? I mean, to men.
Yeah, and politicians are appealing to these disgruntled people because they've been disgruntled. Their parents have been disgruntled. Their grandparents were beginning to be disgruntled when they started seeing that. When they started to see that we're no longer living life of humans, we're living life of robots. That's what it is.
How
long before we have an actual sex robot that can talk to you like that?
Yeah, probably not long. It's a corner of the internet where figures like Joe Rogan host hours-long podcasts that are popular with young men.
All this ridiculous woke shit with these rigid ideas of what you have to say and not say. It's like...
And you can see many people are starting to revolt against these digital control grid that we have now. That's been building up over the decades. They're revolting against it. That's why they elected people like Trump and other politicians, right?
None of that is liberal. None of that is really like open-minded or progressive. It's all just it's a cult.
Men may gravitate to guys like Trump or Elon Musk who are saying, hey, the cavalry is here, we're going to cheer for the boys, we're going to champion men's rights, we're going to put men center stage for a change. Because that's an affirming message. So if men feel that they've always been left out and derided and neglected by these exclusionary progressive campaigns, then they may want their own heroes.
Therefore, that's what this video part 2 is about. And the first one you should go watch. It's like the backgrounder of. This is also a backgrounder, but we're trying to provide solutions. But the Great Reset, you can read that book by that Klaus Schwab, that old guy from lives in Germany. This is all dealing with the nanny state, how we've been under a control grid incrementally for the past few decades. Anyway, if you like my videos, like and subscribe.